The distress call. Captain Eliza Reeves stood at the viewport of Orbital Defense Station Artemis, watching Earth rotate serenely below. 15 years of service in the United Earth Defense Force had earned her command of humanity's most advanced space station, positioned at Earth Luna L1. The blue marble of home contrasted sharply with the stark military efficiency of her command center. "Captain, we're picking up something unusual," Lieutenant Marcus Chen called from his monitoring station. "Signal origin approximately 2.3 AU, just beyond Mars orbit." Reeves moved to his station with practiced efficiency. "Natural phenomenon." "Negative. The pattern is too regular, and it's shifting frequencies in what appears to be a deliberate sequence. It's definitely artificial, but doesn't match any known human transmission protocols." The command center fell silent. Humanity had explored the solar system for decades, establishing outposts on Luna, Mars, and several asteroids, but had never encountered evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence. "How long has it been broadcasting?" Reeves asked, examining the wavelength patterns on Chen's display. "The Deep Space Array only detected it 20 minutes ago, but analysis suggests it's been transmitting for at least 6 hours. It's weak and would have been easily missed if not for the new quantum detection grid we installed last month." Reeves tapped her comm badge. "Contact UEDF Command and inform them we have a potential first contact scenario. Implement Protocol Sentinel." Within hours, the station was at full alert. Admiral Thandwi from Earth Defense Command had arrived via emergency shuttle along with Dr. Elena Sato, Earth's leading xenolinguist. "The signal contains mathematical sequences," Dr. Sato explained in the briefing room. "Fibonacci numbers, prime number sequences, and what appears to be atomic element identifiers. It's a first contact package, designed to establish communication." "Can we respond?" Admiral Thandwi asked. "Yes," Dr. Sato nodded. "I've developed a response using similar mathematical principles. If they're trying to talk, they should understand we're answering." "Could it be a trap?" Reeves asked. Years protecting Earth from potential threats had made her cautious. "Possibly," Thandwi acknowledged. "But we can't ignore the first extraterrestrial contact in human history. Send the response, but maintain defensive readiness." Dr. Sato transmitted humanity's first deliberate message to an alien intelligence. The response came within minutes, much faster than expected. "They must have been waiting," Chen said. "The signal strength is increasing dramatically." The communications display flickered, and suddenly, an image appeared. The alien was humanoid, but clearly not human. It had pale blue skin with bioluminescent patterns, large eyes with vertical pupils, and a slender body structure. When it spoke, the station's AI attempted to interpret and translate. "Greetings, inhabitants of the third planet. We are the Lumari. We request urgent sanctuary and assistance. We are refugees fleeing persecution and genocide. Our pursuers follow. Please respond if you can offer aid." The command center erupted in activity. First contact with an alien species had come not as an exploration milestone, but as a desperate plea for help. "How many are you? And what is the nature of your emergency?" Admiral Thandwi responded after consulting with Earth Command. "We are 27 vessels carrying approximately 12,000 survivors of our people. Our homeworld and colonies have been destroyed by the Corvin Imperium, a militaristic species that harvests worlds and their inhabitants for resources. Our fleet is damaged, low on fuel, and our life support systems are failing. The Corvins will arrive in your system within 6 of your Earth days." Dr. Sato's translation software improved with each exchange. The alien commander, who identified herself as Elder Valoran, provided coordinates for their fleet's position. "This decision can't be made lightly," Admiral Thandwi said during the emergency meeting that followed. "We're potentially involving Earth in an interstellar conflict we know nothing about. If we turn them away, we're condemning 12,000 individuals to death," Dr. Sato argued. Captain Reeves studied the tactical projections. If these Corvins are as aggressive as the Lumari claim, they may come to Earth eventually anyway. Better to face them with some advance warning and potential allies who understand their tactics. After 12 hours of diplomatic negotiations between Earth governments, a decision was reached. Humanity would offer sanctuary to the Lumari refugees. 3 days later, the Lumari fleet limped into Earth orbit. Their ships were elegant but clearly damaged, crystal-like structures with organic curves unlike the practical, angular designs of human vessels. Captain Reeves led the first boarding party onto the Lumari command ship. The aliens were even more striking in person. Tall and graceful with those strange bioluminescent patterns that seemed to pulse with their emotions. Elder Valoran bowed deeply. "We thank you for your compassion. Few would risk themselves for strangers. It's what we would hope others would do for us," Reeves responded. She noticed the Lumari delegation exchanging curious glances. "Forgive our surprise," Valoran said, "but your planet is classified in our stellar databases as a death world." "A what?" Admiral Thandwi asked. Another Lumari, introduced as their chief scientist Nelaran, explained, "Your Earth has exceptionally high gravity by galactic standards, extreme climate variations, high oxygen content, intense radiation from your sun, and thousands of venomous and predatory species. Most spacefaring civilizations evolved on much more hospitable worlds. We didn't expect to find sentient life here, and certainly not life that had achieved spaceflight." Reeves couldn't help but smile. "Earth's challenges have made us adaptable." "Perhaps that is fortunate," Elder Valoran said grimly. "The Corvins have conquered 12 systems. All were peaceful worlds with conditions similar to our homeworld. They have never encountered a species from a death world before." As engineers and medical teams assisted the Lumari refugees, Captain Reeves and Admiral Thandwi learned more about their pursuers. The Corvin Imperium was an expansionist empire that stripped planets of resources, including converting biological life into components for their biotechnology. Their strength was overwhelming force, massive ships, and superior numbers. They view all other life as resources to be harvested, Valoran explained. Negotiations are impossible. They believe it is their divine right to consume. "How many ships should we expect?" Thandwi asked. "Their standard hunter fleet consists of 1 dreadnought and 6 harvesters, accompanied by fighter swarms," Nelaran provided, projecting holographic images of the vessels. "Our scientists and engineers can offer knowledge of their technology and weaknesses, though we are not warriors ourselves." Captain Reeves studied the tactical projections. "Your people evolved in a peaceful environment. We did not." The next days were a flurry of activity as humanity prepared its defenses. The Lumari were transported to secure facilities on Earth, while their engineers worked alongside humans to enhance Earth's defensive capabilities with their advanced knowledge. A critical discovery came when the Lumari scientists revealed the Corvin ship's vulnerability to certain frequencies of electromagnetic pulses, something they had discovered too late to save their own worlds. "Their neural network control systems can be temporarily disrupted," Nelaran explained. "But generating a pulse of sufficient power and correct frequency would require enormous energy." Captain Reeves exchanged glances with her chief engineer. "We might have a solution for that. Humans have been researching EMP weapons for centuries." On the 5th day, long-range sensors detected the Corvin fleet entering the outer solar system. Earth's militaries mobilized, deploying the hastily upgraded defense systems. Civilian populations were moved to emergency shelters. Captain Reeves stood on Artemis Station's command deck, watching the tactical displays as the alien hunters approached. The communication channel suddenly activated, displaying a new alien face, gray-skinned with multiple yellow eyes and bony ridges. "Inhabitants of the 3rd planet," the Corvin commander's harsh voice boomed through the translation system. "You harbor fugitives claimed by the Imperium. Surrender them and submit to resource assessment, or face immediate harvesting." Admiral Thandwi stepped forward to respond. "This is Admiral Thandwi of the United Earth Defense Force. The Lumari are under our protection. Your threats against a sovereign world are an act of war." Withdraw immediately. The Corvin commander's multiple eyes blinked in what might have been amusement. Your primitive world has no standing to declare anything. You will be harvested with the fugitives. Prepare for cleansing. The transmission cut off. Captain Reeves turned to her crew, determination hardening her features. Battle stations, all personnel to combat positions. Deploy the EMP satellites and prepare the fleet. They think we're easy prey because we come from a death world. Let's show them what that really means. Firepower unleashed. The Corvin fleet emerged from faster-than-light travel at the edge of Mars' orbit, their massive ships dwarfing anything humanity had ever built. The dreadnought alone was 15 kilometers long, a city-sized weapon bristling with organic-looking cannons and launch tubes. The 6 harvesters flanking it were smaller but still imposing, each nearly 3 kilometers in length. In Earth orbit, Captain Reeves coordinated humanity's defense from Artemis Station. The combined Earth fleet, hastily assembled from all nations, looked woefully inadequate in comparison. Even with the Lumeri refugee ships that could still fight, they were outnumbered and outgunned. "They're deploying fighter swarms," Lieutenant Chen reported, watching as thousands of smaller craft poured from the Corvin vessels. Estimated time to engagement, 12 minutes. "Hold positions," Reeves ordered. "Let them come to us." Admiral Thandwi's voice came through the comm. "Artemis Station, this is Earth Command. Operation Thunderclap is ready. Awaiting your confirmation." "Acknowledged," Reeves replied, waiting for optimal range. The Lumeri Elder Valoran stood on the command deck, her bioluminescent patterns pulsing with anxiety. "Captain, the Corvins never approach with such caution. They typically launch an overwhelming assault immediately." "They're probably confused by our defensive formation," Reeves explained. "It's not what they'd expect." Instead of concentrating Earth's forces in a defensive perimeter around the planet, Reeves had proposed a scattered, seemingly chaotic arrangement. Ships and stations were positioned at apparently random intervals, many hiding in the shadow of Earth's moon or in low orbits. "They're scanning us," Chen reported, "attempting to map our defenses." "Good," Reeves smiled grimly. "Let them think we're disorganized." The Corvin commander's face appeared again on the main view screen. "Your defensive posture is inefficient. Surrender now, and we will permit 10% of your population to survive as laborers." Admiral Thandwi responded from Earth Command. "We decline your generous offer. Here's our counterproposal." At his signal, hundreds of small, stealthy satellites that had been hidden among orbital debris suddenly activated, surrounding the advancing Corvin fleet. Before they could react, the satellites unleashed a coordinated electromagnetic pulse at precisely the frequency the Lumeri had identified as disruptive to Corvin technology. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The fighter swarms faltered, many colliding or drifting off course. The harvesters' weapon systems flickered and their propulsion destabilized. Only the dreadnought appeared mostly unaffected, its shielding absorbing the worst of the pulse. "Now," Reeves ordered, "all ships, execute attack pattern Chimera." Earth's fleet burst into synchronized action. What had appeared to be a disorganized arrangement revealed itself as a carefully planned encirclement. Vessels accelerated from behind the moon, from low Earth orbit, and from disguised positions among satellites. "They're recovering faster than expected," Chen warned as the Corvin ships began to regain control. "Proceed with Phase 2, Reeves commanded. The next surprise for the Corvins came in the form of humanity's weapons. While their technology was less advanced, humans had been developing ever more efficient ways to destroy each other for millennia. Kinetic kill vehicles, essentially sophisticated guided missiles, struck with devastating force against the temporarily vulnerable harvesters. Rail guns fired dense projectiles at significant fractions of light speed, penetrating shields designed to deflect energy weapons. On the tactical display, Reeves watched as Earth fighters engaged with the recovering Corvin swarms. The human craft were smaller and less armored, but their pilots displayed a level of aggression and unpredictability that seemed to confuse their opponents. "Captain," Elder Valoran observed with wonder. Your pilots are flying directly at the enemy. It's called a head-on attack, Reeves explained. Sometimes the best defense is a strong offense. But the risk is calculated, Reeves finished. Humans understand risk differently than the Lumari. We evolved facing predators and harsh conditions. Sometimes you have to charge at danger to overcome it. The battle intensified as the Corvins recovered from the initial shock. Their technological advantage began to assert itself as they adapted to human tactics. 3 Earth cruisers were destroyed in rapid succession by the Dreadnought's main weapon, a terrible beam that seemed to disintegrate matter at the molecular level. We need to knock out the Dreadnought, Reeves said, analyzing the tactical situation. It's too powerful for a direct assault. Nelloran, the Lumari scientist, who had been working with Earth engineers, stepped forward. Captain, we've completed modifications to your nuclear devices as discussed. The radiation signature should penetrate their biological shielding. Reeves nodded grimly. Humanity had hoped never to use nuclear weapons in space, but this was an existential threat. Deploy the NOVA platforms. 6 unmanned drones, each carrying a modified nuclear warhead, detached from their hidden positions and accelerated toward the Dreadnought. The Corvin point defenses destroyed 4, but 2 reached their target, detonating in sequence against the massive ship's shields. The explosion didn't destroy the Dreadnought, but the specialized radiation burst had the intended effect, disrupting the biological components of their control systems. The enormous vessel listed to one side, its weapons falling silent. Their command structure is hierarchical, Valoran explained as they watched. Without the Dreadnought coordinating, the fleet will be disorganized. Taking advantage of the confusion, Earth's forces pressed their attack on the harvesters. What the human ships lacked in technology, they made up for in tactical flexibility. Captains made independent decisions, adapting quickly to changing circumstances rather than waiting for orders from a central command. The 4th Harvester's engines are critical, Chen reported as another of the massive alien ships succumbed to concentrated fire from a squadron of Earth vessels. The Corvin commander appeared again on the view screen, his expression now showing something akin to concern. How is this possible? Your technology is primitive. Your world is unsuitable for advanced life. Admiral Thandwi responded with steel in his voice. You made a fundamental error. You thought our harsh world made us weak. It made us strong. Earth isn't unsuitable for advanced life. It's the forge that created it. As if to emphasize his point, the supposedly crippled Earth destroyer Shackleton, which had appeared destroyed earlier in the battle, suddenly powered up and rammed one of the harvesters at full speed. Both ships erupted in a blinding explosion. They sacrificed themselves, Valoran whispered in shock. Their captain made a choice, Reeves responded solemnly. One we honor. The tide of battle had clearly turned. 3 harvesters were destroyed or disabled, and the Dreadnought remained impaired. The remaining Corvin ships began to retreat, pulling back toward Mars orbit. They're regrouping, Chen observed. No, Reeves studied the tactical display. Their formation is wrong for a counterattack. They're withdrawing. Sure enough, moments later, the remaining Corvin vessels accelerated away from Earth, leaving behind the wreckage of their companions. In the aftermath, as rescue operations commenced and damage was assessed, Captain Reeves met with Elder Valoran in Artemis Station's observation lounge, looking down at the blue Earth. The Corvins have never been defeated before, Valoran said. They will return with a larger force. And we'll be ready, Reeves replied. With your people's knowledge and our determination, we'll build better defenses. You could have turned us away. Valoran's bioluminescent patterns pulsed with emotion. Avoided this conflict entirely. That's not who we are, Reeves said simply. Humans don't abandon those who need help, even when it's dangerous. Maybe especially when it's dangerous. The Corvin commander called your world primitive, Valoran observed. He was wrong. Your technology may be younger than ours, but your spirit is formidable. Perhaps that is what evolves on a death world, Not just physical adaptation, but something deeper. Compassion and courage, Reeves suggested. We learned long ago that surviving means standing together against threats. Today, we just extended that circle wider than ever before. A transmission interrupted them. Admiral Thandwi with news from Earth Command. Captain, I just received word from the United Earth Council. They've unanimously approved the establishment of a permanent alliance with the Lumari people and the formation of an expanded defense force. And the refugees? Reeves asked. They'll be granted settlement rights on Earth and our colonies with full protection as allies. Elder Valoran's patterns glowed brightly. We came seeking sanctuary and found not just protectors, but warriors willing to stand against the darkness with us. The stars have many wonders, Captain Reeves, but few as remarkable as finding hope where all seemed lost. As news of the victory spread across Earth, humans looked to the stars with new understanding. They were not alone in the universe, and their first major interstellar encounter had proven something profound. The very challenges that had made their world harsh had forged a species uniquely equipped to face the dangers of the cosmos. The Corvins had expected to find easy prey. Instead, they had awakened the Deathworlders, and learned too late why that was a terrible mistake.